and welcome to another episode of the Back2Warcraft Podcast. It is May 14th, 2021. It is a Friday. A little bit late today. We're supposed to have them out on Friday, but it's just been so hectic that we're a day late today, so don't hose us. But I'm joined, of course, by the man himself. It is Giannis. It is Neo. Neo, how are you today?
I am absolutely miserable. Thanks for asking. Yeah, sorry about that. The Dreamhack came in between this podcast week. This week is the busiest week in Dreamhack with all three regions, and you had to work as well to be off for the Dreamhack casts. So yeah, it was a little hectic, but from next week on, we should be back on track with the schedule that we got.
Yeah, that's good. I never thought we'd actually have like a conflict because it's usually I have Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday, Thursday. But it was like you were busy Monday, Tuesday, and then I didn't want to bother you after 14 hours or 10-hour days. So I was like, I'll just let him be. But then I was working late on the other days, so it just happened that way. Is that going to be an ongoing meme, by the way? The how are you doing horrible?
That's just the truth.
One day, you know what? One day you should just whip everyone around and be like, I'm great, and everyone will be like, the fuck?
Did he get laid?
Yeah, did you?
No, I'm miserable, dude.
Oh, that's too bad. You should maybe order one of those.
Jesus, no, not in COVID.
No, I haven't got there yet. I haven't got there yet either.
No, that's kind of cheap. I don't know. It feels like I didn't earn it then.
That's true. I like to work for it too. I like to feel like she's into me. And it's because of that feeling that I'll probably, die alone as well. But I was gonna say, does your hair not grow back anymore? Or are you shaving it every day?
I'm shaving it. I'm shaving it pretty much weekly. This is, I guess, the longest I've had it since the show match.
You like it?
It's fine. I don't really care,
low maintenance,
to be honest. It is low maintenance. I don't really care, to be honest. Maybe I go and see a barber to get it like well done for the first time, because by now I just did it myself. But then I have to do a COVID test and drive for half an hour. I don't really see that at the moment. So I just let it grow a little, then I shave it a little, and then rinse and repeat. That's just how life is. But a couple of weeks ago, I think it's 2 weeks ago, you were teasing us about a date. How did that go?
It went good. It went good. It exceeded expectations. It was a lot of fun. I actually ended up doing... Well, it actually poured into Back2Warcraft, actually, because
what?
I did... you know what the Walk of Shame is? Yeah, so I ended up doing that, and I came home at like 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning, and it was during Lawliot versus Colorful, and Remo was doing it. It was like a cup or something. Remo was doing it aside. He's like, "Do you want to come back to Warcraft?" I was like, "Sure. I'm already up. I'm up early, and I might as well." But that was
wow,
just a case of the good old Walk of Shame. But you know what, man? It was a lot of fun.
That's good for you, man. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you. It was a rough one, but for a long time. But man, for all you guys that are down bad right now with COVID, just hang in there. You're gonna think like, I think this is it for me. I'm just gonna die alone with my cats. But you know what? One day, randomly, with no logic behind it, sometimes you get thrown a bone.
Yeah, there's light at the end of the tunnel. There's rain after a dry season. Yeah, I guess it happens to the best of us. Ricky, that is really, really cool. It feels like you already feel a little more relaxed. I can feel it.
Oh, I needed that. I was stressed. I was tired. I was just kind of like blah. And then, yeah, and then you just, you have a little bit of fun. You know what I miss though? I miss the more than the obvious parts. I miss the just like social interaction. You know what I mean? Like just hanging out. Like we weren't doing anything crazy, just hanging out, shooting the shit, making jokes. She's funny, I'm funny.
You're so funny, Ricky. You're so funny, Ricky. I don't know if anybody mentioned that yet, but you're really funny, dude.
Okay, so the reason why Neo's saying that is because for some reason I have this social tick. I don't even know if it's a tick. It's just like a habit at this point. But whenever something is really funny to me, I will just laugh. And then at the end, I'll go, "That's so funny, man."
Dude, you're like the girl from the Scrubs episode. You know, that's with JD, that's like one of JD's
Never seen it.
girlfriends, and he's super funny, of course, as well. He's cracking jokes, but she's not laughing. She just says, "That's funny." And
yeah,
then,
no, but like I'm actually, I don't know, like I need to like
I'm
enjoy
actually
it.
funny.
I have, you know what? I have the reaction, and then I need to express the reaction. So it's like I start laughing, and then I go, "Wow, that was so funny!" As if like we know that you were laughing. Like, but you don't have to say that it was funny. We get it. You were laughing, but yeah, it's just a weird thing. I do that probably a lot behind the scenes, don't I?
Yeah,
A
you
lot.
do. Like every single time we talk to each other, I think. But that's a good one, man.
Is it annoying? Is it annoying?
No, you do way more annoying stuff. Like, holy shit, you fucked me up so hard in like the muted Dreamhack parts, like in between games, when you start to sing and yell, and I'm there, like I'm having a 10-hour day already. I had to talk to Remo and Todd all the time and do the production. Everything is stressy and stuff. And here comes Ricky, filled with energy. It's kind of early in the day for him. He's super pumped. He didn't talk for 8 hours straight. And there he is, singing, yelling, pumping himself up. Like, you don't have to do that with an open mic, you idiot. Just don't annoy the fuck out of me on Dreamhack.
I'm really just trying to up the morale. So I'm
Yeah,
all about team building, you know? Like it's a team building exercise. I know we're on break and everyone just wants silence, but I don't really believe in that. I think everyone wants scooter, intermission, you know, faster, harder, scooter, you know, just give her all the time. So that's the level I try to maintain.
Wow.
Dude, even Carson, like, we were talking about this on the last podcast. Carson was like, "Shut up," and he never snaps. And even last Dreamhack, he was like, "Shut the fuck up! You're so fucking annoying." I was like, "And game 3, hello everyone, we're back." Like,
Yeah, that's
we
the
literally.
funniest. When you like, I love doing that because I control the timer, right? So there's a countdown, oftentimes 3 minutes 30, and I love to make like a stupid point when there's 10 seconds left on the clock, and I control that. We're going back now, so nobody can answer me on that stupid point. I don't get flagged for anything. Nobody can give me contra. I love that. I love being in control of that.
Yeah, there's been a few times where it's like 5 seconds and we're all quiet, and then Neil will just be like, "Bidoux, you're an idiot," or like something like even worse, like really funny or something, and I'm just standing there. So then we're live now, and I'm just like, if you guys see, like, just in shock because like I just got roasted. But and then Neil's like, "Hello everyone, we're back," and he's all chipper like nothing happened, and hello, and then he'll like do some like weird shit like, "Bidoux, what do you think about that?" When I'm still like triggered from what he just said. And no, it's a good dynamic. I love the Dreamhack dynamic, man.
Absolutely.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun.
Yeah, one day wasn't so much fun though. You left immediately after the broadcast ended. That was the first.
Yeah, so I was there was a lot going on, and honestly I had no fucking idea what was going on. There was so much shit. First of all, all the players competing under DuSt Gaming that were in Dreamhack all decided to leave the team overnight and join Washed Up. Now, Washed Up's always is an NA team. It's a North American team. But the thing is, Washed Up's always kind of been like a meme because when there's only 2 teams, which is Washed Up and DuSt and NA, the thing is, well, you know, like I wish I could join a real team like Washed Up, or you know, like it's basically like that's the scapegoat to roast on me, is like, you know, things look better on the other side. Wow, Washed Up looks like they're having a lot of fun. I'm not, you know, like, so that was been like the trolling dynamic for like a long time. Especially from Cruncher. Cruncher loves to break my balls about that kind of shit. Like, so what sparked this team players leaving, which I didn't even know. I still didn't even know until like 3 days after. So like during Dreamhack, I don't know what's going on. But anyway, what happened was we were all in a voice chat. Well, for months, you know, Hitman got a washed up emote on Twitch. Cruncher got a washed up emote on Twitch. And they would always just be like, "Oh, I don't play on DuSt. I'm on Washed Up." That was like the meme, right? For like a long time. And then what happened was, I think it was right after Saron lost to Cruncher. And he was like something, I don't want to I'm probably paraphrasing, but he was something like, "Oh, you know, it was a great day, except they got my team name wrong. They said I'm on DuSt Gaming, but I'm on Washed Up." And I go, "Well, you know," and then I start, you know, we're all having a good time. I just go, "Well, why don't you message Stoka and change your Liquipedia page?" Because you know, Neo grabs all the information about teams from the Liquipedia. So like, hey, if you want to do it, Cruncher, all you got to do is fucking message Stoka. I'm like, you won't do it, no balls. And I totally forgot that conversation happened. You know, like, you won't do it, no balls, pussy. You know, and then I totally forgot about it. We're still just playing whatever. I think me and Carson were playing Valorant. I think Victor came on to play Valorant as well. Cruncher's just, you know, sitting there just chilling. And then I don't know if it was the next day or the day after, but I wake up to 8-9 DMs from random people going, yo, what happened? Is DuSt dead? Yo, you good? What the hell happened? I go, what? So then I obviously, first thing I do is check Liquipedia transfers, because that's the first thing. That's the first thing I do. If something shit went down, it's definitely in Liquipedia transfers. So I click the Liquipedia transfers, Duck, Hitman, and Cruncher leave DuSt for Washed Up. And I'm like, oh. Okay. And I didn't remember that I challenged Cruncher no balls, right? So I'm just like, oh, okay, well, they're obviously trolling. Like, this is obviously a troll. Kind of weird during Dreamhack, because now 1,000 to 2,000 people are going to see Washed Up with no context. I'm on the screen. I don't have any context. I don't remember what happened. And then, so that poured onto the camera, where I think you were asking me what's going on. I have no fucking idea what's going on. Meanwhile, Cruncher and Hitman have, they have, you know, they've transferred from DuSt to Washed Up, and on the stream they're Washed Up, and DuSt kind of just disappeared. So I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. And then what made it worse was I was hoping they were just trolling, but then
wait,
Hitman.
Let me cut you up. Cut you off real quick, because I did, like, I'm supposed to be the host of the show and create a good atmosphere, but I was in a kind of a mood that I wanted to poke fun at that a little bit, because Cruncher contacted me about that as well. Like, how do we change that? And I said Liquipedia as well. Go to Stoka, blah blah. And then
you were in on it
a little bit. I basically told him just to go to Stoka to do it, because I can't really do it, and I don't know how Liquipedia handles it, because like the chance that this is just a troll was very, very high when you just get a random message by Cruncher. So okay, maybe they double check or something. And it won't really happen. And then I go to bed and I wake up and I see this transfer there. So I was in a kind of a mood, because I guess it was because you annoyed me in the green room thing with yelling. And so
that seems like an unfair trade.
A little bit.
You annoyed me for 3 minutes, so let me just ruin your whole career.
Yeah, a little bit. I took it a little too far, and was asking you and was poking fun at it, and then I asked the players as well, and that was a little real bad.
Yeah, so obviously, you know, just to clarify, it was meant as a troll initially, and my reaction, which was what they wanted, spurred it into actuality. So you in the interview with Cruncher obviously had a Washed Up written in Sharpie on his paper during the games he's playing. He's showing it like, I'm washed up, blah blah blah. So I'm like, that's still trolling.
Wait. We shouldn't forget about the second piece of paper. He had one with Washed Up, and the second one was Fire Bidoux.
Yeah, which is becoming a very uncomfortable meme that Dreamhack is now fully aware of. I like that meme during DuSt League, but oh my god, that is scary. If anyone just asks like, hey, why are people saying that? And then like they watch me for like a second, they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, makes sense.
Get it.
Yeah, but so Cruncher during his match showing the Washed Up, showing Fire Bidoux, which right away just says I'm totally against Bidoux and I'm on Washed Up. And then you know what? Cruncher is always the ringleader of these troll events, situations. So I didn't expect that from Victor. So Hitman gets an interview and you're like, so is it true? And he goes, absolutely. Let's go Washed Up. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Now it's like, even if they're trolling, it's official now because he said it on an official interview. And you even said, are you like, is it a troll or is it official? And he said, absolutely, it's confirmed. So I'm like, fuck. Okay, well, what am I gonna do? Keep saying like, no, they're trolling. So I remove them from the DuSt team chat, which is like the biggest form of like Davy Jones' locker. Like if you get kicked out of the DuSt team chat, shit's going down. Like it's real. So I removed them all from the DuSt team chat, and right away Victor's like, you removed me? You removed me from the team? And I'm like, motherfucker, you left. And I clipped the interview where he admits in front of like 1,000 people that he left, and he's like, so he just like doubles down. He goes, no, you did this. You kicked me. I didn't leave. You kicked me. So then they try to like reverse it on me. It's basically just like 10-year-old high school drama. But yeah, what I was trying to say is Duck and Hitman originally never even knew about the transfer on Wikipedia or anything. So Cruncher never filled them in. I just said, you won't do it, Cruncher, no balls. And he just messaged Stoka saying, me, Duck, and Hitman have left. They changed it. Duck and Hitman both confirmed to me later. I had no idea. I just went with it. So I was like, you motherfuckers. But long story short, Victor missed me after 4 days. Eddie says, listen. No, you know what happened? He goes, hey, Carson, can you get me Johnny Cage's contact? I want to practice human. Or it was a play, I think Thorzane or something. Can you get me Thorzane's contact? And Carson goes, you're going to have to ask washed up manager. You don't get those perks anymore. Ooh. And Victor's like, no, like, come on, Carson. I thought we were boys. And he's like, oh, we're friends, Victor, but you don't get the perks anymore. Nice. And then
so
Victor's
Carson
like, no.
fixed it in the end.
As always, mommy always fixes the situation that daddy gets himself into. And yeah, so long story short, Victor came back, and then Duck came back, and then Crunch came back the next day. So everything is right with the world. They had to get me. They definitely got me. I was super pissed. Going back to your original point, you bringing that shit up, I didn't really know how to react. I was like, what is actually happening? I was super triggered. And yeah, immediately after the broadcast, I just fucking rage quit and never came back to my computer.
Yeah, thankfully you're back now. There was one moment on the broadcast where you were already triggered because of the interview, and then we were like recapping the day, and we started, I think it was like was it winner bracket group A or something, and Carson and we already moved over to group B, but you clearly didn't listen, and you were like, yeah, boys, we have to talk about the other side of the bracket as well. We were like,
Oh yeah, and Carson was like, "What other side?" I totally thought you were still on Group A.
Yeah, I know.
And then like, so I was so out of it, dude. Like, I thought you guys were still on Group A, and then just concluding the day. And so in my head, I'm like, "Wait, what the fuck? They didn't even mention Group B." That's what was going on in my head. Meanwhile, you guys have already recapped it. I was just so tricked, dude. I was pissed, man. I don't think I showed it though. Like now, given the context, like you guys could tell.
Yeah, we knew.
A little bit, but I don't think anyone watching really knew, because it's the same kind of like trolling triggering reactions that I always get.
Was a little extreme that day, I think.
I was pissed. Did you feel bad?
No. I think I did a shitty job, because it would have been for the better to not mention it to that extent, but I'm fine. I
mean, I'm a big boy. I take a lot of shit. It was just, I don't know, like, you know, I'm all for trolling, but I think that was a bit too much. And also, like, I think that, you know, the DuSt Gaming name isn't really like, it's not so much a Warcraft 3 team anymore. It's more just like a family. Like, we're more just like a crew of people that genuinely care about each other and want to do good by each other. And I will always have the boys' backs. So if they actually decided to leave for something better, which isn't washed up in my opinion, but if they were to leave for something better, I would be totally okay with that. That was the goal of DuSt in the beginning, was to grow these guys. Like, people didn't know who Hitman was before he was on DuSt. Like, the goal was to like show this kid spamming East custom games, go, like a complete robot, give him a platform to grow. And I think we've done that. So, you know, like, obviously every day, every dog has his day, everything comes to an end. I just didn't think that was it. I was like, come on, man. Like, you guys are this is actually it. This isn't it. This isn't the right way to lead. But, you know, I always consider these boys, they're my boys, man. And if they weren't on DuSt, they would still be my boys, and I would still have their back. So just to clarify, but that was just daddy, you know, little bit of empty nest syndrome for a bit there.
Yeah. I'm glad that everything solved. So yeah, yet another drama in the Warcraft scene.
But just to clarify, these guys fuck with me every day. Like, this is just like, the reason why I thought it was a troll is because this type of shit happens on a regular basis. When I say that DuSt Gaming is the land of the hyenas and it's like a zoo, it is. Like, these guys are always trolling always messing with me, always like figuring out a way to like make a meme about like, oh, he's donoing, or like they'll like add me into like some hot tub stream picture, and they'll be like, I saw him in there, I knew it, you know, like they always do that shit. So
can we just clarify that you did donate to like cam girls?
No, I never donated to a cam girl.
What's the correct term then?
I've donated to a Warcraft 3. Donated to Warcraft 3 streamers. I've actually never donated to any other stream except for Warcraft 3 streamers.
Okay.
That's a fact.
Okay. Then see, I'm believing their lies already.
Yeah, no, I've never donated.
Did you sub?
I might have subbed. I don't. Okay, I've never subbed like a titty streamer though, because that's just weird, champ. Unless they have bomb emotes. Amaranth has bomb emotes. Have you seen her Twitch emotes for subs?
No, not even one student.
They're actually really good. Carson got gifted a sub, and he's actually thinking of continuing it just because the emotes are so good. Like he uses them all the time. There's one that's like rent free or something. Like there's another one. It was pretty good. But no, I don't think I've ever subbed to anyone that hasn't streamed Warcraft 3 that is. Well, I've subbed to other people that don't stream Warcraft 3 content, but not in that sense, just to save face. But you know what? Then again, like it's not even really saving face. If they got good content, it is what it is. You know, entertainment comes in all shapes and forms. But to this,
correct. Sometimes in the form of a tomato.
You never know. I mean, it is what it is. Who am I to judge the content on Twitch after the shit I do? Are you kidding me? I have no leg. I dressed up as a clown costume and ate fucking chicken nuggets on stream. I have no leg to stand on. I am just as bad, if not worse, than those people because it's not attractive. So it's an even bigger downside. So, yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely.
It's good. All right, I got two follow-ups. Fans and listeners were reacting to the shit that we say. So people actually believe what we say and convert it and think about it. So we talked about cups, right? Where the number of participation is so low. So I got a comment by Safit, who's part of the War 3 Champions team. Shout out Safit and shout out War 3 Champions. Should I just read it and then we discuss it a little bit?
Yeah, sure. First of all, to clarify, you should always believe what we say. We are telling the truth. I fucking hope we are, at least. Like, we're not trolling you guys, but okay, go ahead. Okay, you should listen to what we say, and you should definitely believe that we're trying to tell the truth. Okay,
yeah, so the main topic of this weekly cup thing was why are numbers so low, and I think our main point was that they have like cup anxiety and they don't want to play a happy or a foggy in these cups, for example, and why leagues are more successful, like the Washed Up League, like the Rocket Beans League, etc., etc. So that was our point. Safit comments, quote unquote, it's just old people with jobs and kids who can't carve out 3 to 4 hours to play in these events. Having run GNL for 5 seasons, the only way it works is when 2 people can agree to a mutual beneficial time. If we said you had to play on a certain time on a certain day, we'd probably not even get 10% of the people signing up. You only have to look at the GNL events calendar to see why these people can't attend cups that take place at 3 to 8 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. If you want cup participation to increase, it's the event schedule that needs to be flexible. I literally can never enter a skill event, though I'd love to. It starts 2 hours before I finish work. Bidoux was close to saying we need 200 hyperactive 15-year-olds, but I don't think the cup organizers are accepting the reality of the War 3 scene demographics. That is, of course, a valid point that I think we touched on as well, that having flexibility to schedule the matches is, of course, a lot easier in leagues, and, of course, usually if the league is run well, you face opponents of your own skill range. So the question is, though, I read that and I understand that what Safit is saying, but that doesn't change the fact that a bronze cup, where there's a big elo cap, or a low elo cap rather, is 3 to 4 times as successful as a gold cup with more prize money, because people don't want to face the big boys anymore, unlike it was in the Zotac Cup. So I think this comment doesn't really touch on our main point of this cup anxiety topic.
I agree with a lot of what he said. Obviously, it is way more ideal to have a bunch of people schedule themselves than to force a time. That in itself is a construct. Just saying, it's Saturday night, can you make it or not? Automatically puts a constraint on people. That's what makes Gym Newbie League so good, is everyone is down. If you don't want to play that week entirely, you just tell your coach you don't play, you're busy, whatever, but you have full availability of your own schedule. I could play this week, but I can't play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It has to be Sunday at 9. And chances are your opponent's cool with that, and you can make it happen despite the busy schedule. Scheduling's huge. I agree with him on that. Age is huge. I agree with him on that. People have kids now. They're not the 16-year-olds on Adderall, which I think was the reference I made before, that anymore. They're old people with the careers and lives and shit going on. And I say old in terms of esports old. Like 30, 30 plus is, you got to have your shit together, I hope. Jesus Christ. But there's a lot of
31. It's broadcasting Warcraft all day. It's the only thing I do.
Yeah, but you're absolutely killing the game right now. If people knew how badly you're killing it, they would be like, "Holy shit, I want his life." No. But yeah, they didn't know. They Neo's like, "You don't, dude. I lost my hair." I think Sephi nailed it with a lot of points, but you can't just say it's because of this and because of that anymore. It's a combination of everything, Sephi. It's a combination of availability scheduling. Sometimes, people don't have the Monday nights off for the cups, or the Friday nights off for the cups, or what have you. That plays a factor. Age, Friday night could be daddy's night out, with the
Not
boys,
right
because he's got kids, you know what I mean? Or mommy's night out. So, maybe he's got time to play on the computer. You never know. I just think, to Neo's point though, this bronze cup is another. So let's say they all attribute to 5% of the factors, right? Their age. They're too old anymore. They don't have the availability. The flexible schedule pays a 5% on the impact of the player signups. Another one is the lack of drive to compete, which we've talked about. And that might be 5% as well. But it's definitely, why do we have a bronze cup, tons of people competing? Because it doesn't matter. Like, the Bronze Cup champion doesn't really matter. ESL Cup champion or ESL Cup winner, do you know how someone's reputation can fall and climb with one best of 3? Like, if Starshape was to knock out Happy in the ESL Cup, he went up 1-0, by the way, in the last ESL Cup. He went up 1-0, Mass Wyvern Cheese, totally smashed Happy. Happy right away went from 400 viewers on his stream to 1,600 viewers as soon as he was down 0-1, because someone on Back to Warcraft mentioned it and he blew up. That is the difference. Do you think that kind of impact happens when fucking so-and-so plays so-and-so in the Bronze Cup? Nobody gives a shit. So you could play these and there's just no impact. It's the freedom of, you know what, I get to just compete and it doesn't matter. But there's certain cups, and these are the cups we're emphasizing. Why are the ESL Cup signups so low? Why are the Skill Cup signups so low? Or whatever have you. Why are the DreamHack qualifier signups so low? It's because there's this pressure of, I don't want to compete against a Happy. It's a waste of time. I'm going to lose. I can't win. And that's the mentality that we're trying to change, because we hate that shit. I know I do. I can't stand that. I've heard that in NA my entire life. Well, he's Korean, he's European. I don't have all day because I'm an American. I got shit to do. Blah. I'm whatever have you. I've been listening to that my whole life, and it's a bunch of bullshit. And we've seen this shit change all the time. If you're talented, if you deserve to win, put in the effort, you'll win. I.e., Foggy. Yes, Foggy spent a lot of time, and he's dedicated a lot to his craft, and he's beaten the best players in the world. Congrats to him. But someone like Cruncher, guys, Cruncher might play on a monthly basis an hour of Warcraft 3 on a monthly basis. The only time he ever grinds is a week before his DreamHack match. And by grinds, it's 10 games. Like, so you don't need to throw away your life to be the champion. Cruncher is incredibly talented, yes. He understands the limits of his capabilities, yes. But the fact that the mindset is, I have to give up my entire career, sell my wife and kids, and play Warcraft 3 to have a chance to beat Hitman, for example, is a bunch of bullshit. It's a cop-out to make you feel better And it ties back to the mentality that these players don't want to compete in these tournaments that are important because of the implications. If Happy was to lose to Starshaped, it would be front page every news ever. Yeah. Because Starshaped on paper shouldn't beat him. But Happy takes that risk. And more players looking at that Starshaped series should go into it going, fuck, man. What did Starshaped lose there? Nothing. What did he gain? Everything. Man, it blew up. Happy's stream went from 400 viewers to 1,600 viewers because they thought he was going to lose. Like, that is insane to me. Like, within 20 minutes, Neo. That's that's what makes people anxious, nervous, not interested in playing. It's too much anxiety. Like, it weighs too heavily. And that might account for 5% too. But like, Sefid had some good points, but I think I just went on a long tangent again. Yeah. But I think they all account together is what I'm trying to say. It's an amalgamation of a bunch of different aspects, but it still ties down into, at the end of the day, the big sign-up cups don't get a lot of signups. Go ahead, Neo. I'm sorry about that.
The big sign-up cups don't get a lot of signups.
The big important cups are losing sign-up registration numbers.
Yeah. I don't have a solution to this really, but maybe there is none. I don't know. It's of course a lot of points. Yeah. We got a second follow-up as we were talking about maps. I think that was me specifically talking about maps being a little streamlined at the moment and getting rid of Twisted and Terranas, killing a little bit of variety in the map pool, with Tidehunters and Autumn Leaves being closer to maps we already got instead of bringing in new variations. So Tenchi messaged us. Tenchi created a whole bunch of amazing maps, for example, Autumn Leaves, and he's spearheading this community at the moment alongside Kier and Remo, I guess. So he says, I know what you mean with map variation. I also think it was a mistake from ESL to remove Terranas just because of stats, but Twisted was needed. I don't think it makes sense to have a map in the pool that's vetoed 90% of the time. Also, Autumn Leaves and Tidehunters are still new. There might be more standard, but it's still a lot to explore. True. Foggy playing Warden today really showed some nice new ideas. True. From a mapping perspective, we need to make more standard maps first so the melee players can see we know what we're doing, starts trusting the map makers more, and even these 2 more standard maps got a lot of backlash in some areas. But don't worry, we have 2 maps coming soon that are a bit more unique. Shallow Grave might be a good Warden MK map. And Shattered Exile is a 4-player map with new Mercamp that should be very interesting. That is an amazing post, and that is why I want to highlight this. I think we mentioned this as well, that getting rid of imbalanced maps first and replace them is the right way to go. And I said this either on the podcast or on Twitter or on Discord or on streams. I have a lot of output these days, guys, that it is the right move to do so, and I am the one that has to be a little more patient before we get maps like Terranas and Twisted back. And I think Autumn Leaves and Tidehunters are on a very, very good map, especially Tidehunters is, as Tenchi said, on a very cool way. Like, if you pick Night Elf and Undead alone, we saw like 7 completely different games this week on this map, from Undead Fast Expansion and the Night Elf towers it, to Night Elf Fast Expansion and the Undead tries to rush it, to everything in between tier 3, 5 bases and beyond. So I do take that back a little bit, and I am very confident that we have amazing map makers at the moment that are super dedicated and know what they do, and looking forward to the new maps. Shallow Grave and Shattered Exile.
I mean, we saw Paz beat Hunter in ESL Cup America with a Panda first.
Exactly. Yeah.
On Tidehunters. So that was cool. I don't really have much to say about maps because I'm not a player. I always think that the players in this community have very good feedback in terms of maps when they're not bitching and whining about maps. I think, the only thing I can say to map makers is don't let the ego go to your head. Just listen to the players. The players will tell you if something needs to be changed. They did that to Tyranna's stand back in the day. Tyranna's stand was horrific.
I have a very different opinion on that. Oh, boy.
Do you remember old Tyranna's stand?
Yeah. I mean, I do have a different opinion on just listen to the players.
Oh, well, no. I mean, do your own thing. Obviously, your map makers do your own thing, but definitely heed the advice of the competitive players because at the end of the day, they're the ones that veto the maps. And if they don't want to play your map for whatever reason, they're going to show that.
Yeah, but they are not the end all be all. They can be wrong about a lot of things as well. I saw that in a lot of discussions.
Yeah, I mean, take the criticism with a grain of salt, but definitely listen to what they're saying. Is what I'm trying to say.
Oh,
obviously, if 90% of the players have a problem with something, then it probably needs to be addressed. If your map keeps getting vetoed and you're asking questions, what can I do better? Just listen to the players, I think. But for the most part, if you're not having those issues, then just keep doing what you're doing and make your fucking map. But my thing is, people bitched and moaned about Tyrannistan for a long time, and that got a complete rework. And Tyrannistan stayed in the pool for like 10 years, and it was actually drastically different and drastically better than it used to be. Because Tyrannistan used to be one of the worst maps ever. So I don't really have much opinions about maps. I don't really care either what map is in the pool. I think if we brought back Twisted Meadows and TS, I wouldn't give a shit. So I'm like the worst person to ask for maps. It's really just player dependent, matchup dependent. I think, I've played on Shallow Grave, which is that new one. I think the creeps need to be worked out personally, because as a 1450 player, I can't even creep this shit. But I suck dick at the game anyway. But that's my only critique about that one. Shattered Exile, I haven't played yet.
So wait,
but
wait. Do you make it like 10,000 points at the same time? I had a little bit long.
Well, honestly,
day.
I was just gonna make my points and then just like poof, because that's all I really have to say about it.
Yeah. So I think when we started this, or I guess Remo and the Map Makers, that's a nice band name, I guess. Remo and the Map Makers started this initiative to freshen up the map pool. There was a little bit of conflict because the players didn't trust map makers and thought that they have no idea what they're doing. And on the map maker side, there was a little bit of frustration because there was very little feedback, and the feedback they got wasn't too great. And we're getting closer to each other. Players, pro players, and map makers are in a better dialogue now. I guess there's still certain positions from either side that the other side can't really understand, but I saw amazing feedback. Hitman, shout out. I criticized you a lot for some stuff you say on Discords, but that was amazing feedback on, I think, Autumn Leaves. So yeah, that is the way. And sometimes map makers can then explain, hey, I can't switch this building out with this building because then the situation is this and this and this, or the aggro of this creep works in this way because that prevents or this camp is supposed to be creeped in that way, and if you think about it, it works, and you don't have to complain, yada yada yada. There's a million things to think about, and it's cool that we have a dialogue there, and Tenchi and Kier especially are doing fantastic, and that is why I wanted to highlight this very comment by Tenchi.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. I think casters get the same criticism. In terms of like, well, you can't play as good as me, so you don't earn my respect, and you don't understand what I'm going through because
Speak
I'm the number
yourself.
one player in the. No, it's definitely relates to me. That's a problem I've had. This whole like, well, I'm the number one player in the world. You're like 1400 MMR. What do you know? I know the answer. You don't know shit about this game. I think the same problem could be said to casters as map makers, right? Like, I'm sure the map makers are garbage at this game, absolute dog shit. But there's a way to work together and feed off of each other in a way that is progressive towards the maps, and you don't necessarily have to necessarily even respect each other or like each other. Like, I feed off what players say in terms of me, but I'll really just say whatever the fuck I want. Map makers, yeah, they can't play at the level of other players and whatever, but there's definitely feedback on both sides. But I think map makers just stonewalling players because that's not the answer is wrong, and I think players just stonewalling map makers' opinions because they don't play as good as them is also wrong. There's a middle ground there.
I don't think that's the case anymore. That's the progression that I talked about. So that's cool.
Well, the only reason why that progression is there is also because Remo is like sticking his neck out for these map makers too, and people respect Remo, so they're going to give the map makers the benefit of the doubt that I feel like they never had before, which is good. Because yeah, I mean, the people just want to shit on each other in this community sometimes.
Oh, hells yeah! Everywhere you look recently, there's just drama and beef.
Sometimes it's good.
Yeah, but oftentimes it's not. It's just annoying. Like it's not like, let's say, a UFC or a box fight where there's beef and people notice and it's getting interesting, and at the end it's like, hey, let's settle this on the battlefield, and then there's a show match that settles things. It's just most of the time pure kindergarten, he said, she said, he did this, mommy, but he did this prior and he called me a bad name. This is, oh my god, I can't believe that people are 30 years old in this community when I look at stuff recently.
Yeah. I've just gotten so used to it, man. I honestly don't even see, I can't even imagine a perfect utopia Warcraft 3 where everyone's nice to each other. Maybe that's just because I'm NA, but I mean, shit talking is just a big,
it leads to nothing good. Like, what is this beefing and shit talking even good for?
I mean, I shit talked Sweden in War 3 Info League, and that pretty much got me a gig on Back to Warcraft at the end of the day. So.
Well, that wasn't a fun and cheeky way, though, on the broadcast.
So do it smart is what you're saying.
Yeah, and with the reason that people benefit from this, like viewership benefits or interest in you increases, or it's a fun interaction where people can take sides. But yeah, I mean, right now, people were threatened to get sued in the Warcraft scene for creating an emote. It's like, Jesus Christ, really? Are we there yet? So,
what do you think about that?
Yeah, I guess we have to tell the viewer what happened, or the listeners what happened. And I'm, to be honest, not too deep into that beef because my head was just filled with Dreamhack, and I really didn't want to dive in because I'm not involved at all until now, I guess, because I commented.
We don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
Of course, we can talk about it. So, XlorD is of course involved, and iNSUP is involved, and XlorD is notoriously known for shitting on the NA region. I think NA only, like whenever there's an NA tournament, he comes to the chat, NA lol, and shits on it for, I don't know, 1.5 years or even longer. I don't know. I think personally it gets a little boring, but you know, it's XlorD. He's having fun this way, and he's always been that way. So, they met, like, iNSUP and XlorD obviously met at W3 Champions, and the first map was kind of close, and iNSUP did pretty well. In the end, it was a pretty one-sided victory by XlorD, though. And then somehow they started to dislike each other in Twitch chats and Twitter. Can you sum this up?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. XlorD's just kind of been memeing NA, and I think a lot of players know that, have seen that in the chat. We are aware that when we see XlorD in the chat, he's probably just going to meme NA. A little bit of a bite back, you know, comes in the form of Twitch emotes. You know, iNSUP is a streamer, so of course, if he can take advantage of any opportunities or situations and make it funny for him, add a little bit of content to his channel because he streams almost every day, then he's going to do that, and it's respectable. So, of course, XlorD's been doing these interviews, and we get to see what he looks like, and iNSUP does like a skeleton type emote, probably in reference to XlorD's small frame, which XlorD does have a small frame. I don't know if it's like meme worthy, but it's, you know, so this emote came out, and, you know, which is like mild, I think. Like at the end of the day, it's not even a bad emote. I thought XlorD would maybe use that on his own stream and kind of like roll with it, but that didn't happen. The exact opposite happened, where he must have reached out, because there's no fucking way Mousesports found this out on their own. There's just no way. So XlorD definitely reached out to his team at Mousesports and said, hey, can you do something about this? Can you get this taken down? So, which followed up with, which you probably should not show this next tweet, which followed up with iNSUP basically tweeting
I got it up right now.
Response.
Yeah, I got it up right now. I can read it real quick.
There's certain things I don't like about that, but basically the rep from Mousesports kindly, and I do think professionally, asked iNSUP, can you remove this?
Yeah, let me read it real quick so the viewers know what this is about. Dear iNSUP, it has come to our attention that you are using copyrighted material. A photo of Mousesports player Daniel XlorD Spence has a sub emote on your Twitch account. I kindly ask you to remove this by the end of Tuesday, May 11, 2021, or we will file our complaint to Twitch directly. The respective emote is iNSUP X. Kind regards.
Which I think is totally fine. Totally professional way of saying, hey, man, you just take this down. It's copyright, which it is. That picture from that Dreamhack used, that iNSUP used, is from Mousesports' book of a gallery of photos that they own. It's 100% copyright. They have absolutely every right to take it down if it's negatively impacting the player, and 100%. And he wrote that in such a professional manner.
Yeah.
Now, iNSUP, being the way he is, tweets this guy's email and name out to everyone.
Yeah.
Which is not fucking cool. He has no concept of like how that can actually impact people and how you shouldn't do that ethically. So that's why I suggested you don't pull it up, because it's just stupid, but you're just pulling out the facts. I mean, you didn't do this, he did. It's already out there. So there's that kind of aspect, like iNSUP, are you trying to be a streamer that's looking for content and trying to grow your channel? Or are you actually just like completely oblivious to this stuff and you're just rolling with it and, fucking people over? Because I do think that's a really immature move. He should have blocked those out. That guy has nothing to do with it. He's doing his job. He did it professionally. And that came out of it. I thought that was kind of low, but I honestly don't even think iNSUP understands that kind of marketing or like that kind of what you're supposed to do. Which maybe he should have someone teach him that kind of shit, like ethics, basic ethics 101. But whatever, he did that. So now let's move aside from that. XlorD can dish it, but can't take it.
A little bit, yeah. Is that the next? Yeah, okay. In like alongside all of this, iNSUP, I guess, removed iNSUP X, but there's now another emote back that was previously forbidden. That is iNSUP Cry. That pretty much was the same stuff, but with Todd instead of XlorD, and I guess a crying emote, as the name suggests. I'm not too much into emotes, but I guess that was once forbidden to use as well, and now Todd gives him the permission to use that one. So one emote, like the XlorD emote, is gone. The Todd emote is back. It's an incredible journey right here.
Yeah, I think XlorD lost a little bit of respect for the NA boys. Like, NA dude, I don't think he knew this, but we did respect the shit talk. We definitely respected it.
He's pretty good at that.
It was good. He's very good. I got to tip my hat. XlorD's good at it. But dude, if you go crying to your HR department, that's like Randall from fucking Disney's Recess, bro. You're out of the loop, bro. You are out of the loop. You lost, bro. You cave. I think that's how people see it now. A lot of people giving him shit on Twitter about that, but I think he should have rolled with it. I think he fucked up running to HR. Not gonna lie.
And here, like, I have no idea if that happened that way. You can say it's very likely or it's very unlikely, whatever. But imagine this happens in the week of the War 3 Champions Finals.
Oh, that'd be dirty.
That would be super dirty, and then they meet each other first round, and then there's some spice to it, whether the emote is still there or not. If yes, then iNSUP fans can spam the XlorD emote, and maybe XlorD comes up with an emote himself, like a mob with iNSUP's hair on it, as he's making the jokes now about that, right? And that would have been super fun. So you have the iNSUP fans with their emote against the XlorD fans with their own emote. Then there's an emote war in chat. People are interested. That would have been dope.
We need an EDC, an esports drama committee, or a WDC, a Warcraft drama committee, scripting this kind of behavior. Can you imagine if someone came out and pulled XlorD and iNSUP aside and said, listen, we're going to do something with each other. It's going to be so fucking funny. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. People will love it. It's right before War 2 Champs. I think we need like a drama committee that creates... Dude, I'm such a fan of scripts. It's kidding me, Neo. Wouldn't that be a banger? If we didn't know, but there's like but it's got to be like Gossip Girl, like where we don't know who Gossip Girl is. So like, we have to have like a secret Discord account, like a new Discord account. Do you know what I'm saying, Neo? Am I getting somewhere here? Like, and you're named like the man or something, and you just add people. You friend Warcraft 3 players, and you add them, and you go, here's the drama that we want to do. Are you guys in? And they say yes or no. And it's really just to raise their own content because
man.
that would be banging. And honestly, you just tip them like a tenner. Like if you're in, this is worth a $10. Are you in or not? Or no, I have an idea. If you're in, PayPal me $10 and then I'll pitch you the idea, because it's already got to be a banger. That's the market right there. And we get our own esports drama committee composed of one anonymous legend that is just running around building stories on his own. That would sell. You know what? It's these kind of ideas that keep me in the Back2Warcraft team, by the way. It's just this kind of shit that keeps me level-headed, ready to go. Neo's laughing, like, but he's like, I fucking love it.
Right? All these genius ideas. But man, I would love that. Like the Vince McMahon of the Warcraft scene. That would be amazing. Even if it's scripted, like who gives a shit?
Well, I mean, really, the only script is iNSUP, you're going to build an emote. XlorD, you're going to react. Like, it's not even really script. It's like, you're going to build this emote to do this and piss him off. And XlorD, you just react. And then it's right before the tournament. Boom. Let it happen. And just let them. And if they're good, if they're streamers or content creators worth their salt, they're just going to run with it. That's the play, man. I think we just love something.
Dude, yeah. Are you, like, do you have an idea for that Discord name, by the way? I'm on the
It's got to be something good. It's got to be something good, because this has to be like a meme. Like, oh, like whenever something does happen, like this is how important this guy has to be to the community. Whenever something does happen that's a banger, they just assume it's this guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, to the point where he doesn't even have to do any more work. Now everyone just assumes good drama only stemmed from him.
But doesn't that weaken the drama if you expect it to be scripted? But I guess not, because then people wouldn't watch movies.
Exactly. People love entertainment. You know what? And the people that watch everyone stream and the big subs and the dedicated viewers, they just want to be entertained, man. That's the truth. That's the whole truth. You know, they just want entertainment. They just want to laugh. They just want to kick back and avoid COVID for an hour or two. They just want to enjoy themselves. So come on, I'm a big fan of this. I'm a big fan. Dude, I think we just came onto something really big. If someone runs with this and makes like a Twitter page called like Anonymous or something and like starts doing this, I'll be so pissed. I at least want my commission, motherfucker.
What,
just give me that.
Anonymous, dude, that would be so sick.
That'd be so sick. It's got to be better than Anonymous, though. It's got to be something like a Gossip Girl. Like Gossip Girl was like a common name. Like, have you seen that show?
No, of course not.
It's basically like this news article thing, but it's run by one person and nobody knows who it is. And they just like get inside information and just like feed off drama, and they just post drama. So if someone says like, oh, I hate Giannis, like they'll say like, he said he hates Giannis, and they'll have like a recording of it. And like the guy's like, son of a bitch. So then you're like, you son of a bitch. You know what I mean? They just start drama and nobody knows who Gossip Girl is. And then you find out at the end who it is, which is a bit of a cliffhanger, but
yeah, that would be pretty dope. I think we, as a channel, then should we do reaction videos to stuff then as well? Like play the entire game?
What do you mean? Like our reaction?
Yeah, and also like clickbait thumbnails and shit like, you will never believe what this guy said about this guy. And then there's,
I think, honestly, I think our
Bidoux reacts to shameful tweet or something.
Dude, our behind the scenes would sell for millions. Dude, our green room discussions, that's worth they would get liquid gold.
Canceled.
Oh, we'd be so fucked, but it would be liquid gold every time. And it's no, I like that small bubble where we get our own reclusivity. I don't think I would ever sell that for the world, but that would be good. That'd be a good reaction, but no, I don't know. There was a point I want to cover it. I think we have to fucking cliffhanger this again. We're out of time.
Yeah, that's true. We wanted to cover monetization and crowdfunding for tournaments, but yeah, I feel
like that would go on long. We didn't do that last week. We ended up shooting. You know what? This is good though. It keeps the juice flowing, and you know. Yeah, next week we'll do it.
We have to start with this next time, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
We have to deliver. We have got 5 minutes or something, so I want to touch on a couple of things. Dreamhack, of course, it's the number one priority. That's what's occupying my head and all of our heads, and it's draining, etc., etc. But did we talk about the player cams already last week? Because
yes, we did.
We did. Damn. Okay, but Sonic just brought this to a whole new level. There was some cool stuff happening. Sonic had Keeper of the Grove face paint, and that intensified for the second time. Then day 3, he didn't even add like more makeup or whatever that was. but dressed up super like business-esque with like a dress shirt and a and a tie, and made his hair, etc., etc. And then he won that game. He had this big glass that you can see on his stream as well, so that was super funny. We had XlorD doing the cutthroat gesture to Johnny Cage, obviously in reference to Mortal Kombat. That was pretty dope. We had some people popping off, or you see Big Relief. That is amazing. And then there was the quarterfinal day one in Europe, and Sonic dressed up as a Russian pimp with a tracksuit, with iron chains, sunglasses, freshly shaved his head for the quarterfinal appearance, and then he had a lady sitting next to him with like bondage clothes on, mimicking a warden, because he was so successful with the warden in that tournament. That was gold level entertainment. I love this so much. Some people didn't like it. Some people got shit for it. But Sonic is just amazing. Absolutely incredible.
Listen, good. Any marketing's good marketing. And that, honestly, is one of those steps where people are going to hate it and people are going to love it, but that's not the point. The point is to just do it and get it out there. And like you tweeted, you will never forget it. Either way, you will never forget what just happened. I mean, what my question is, did he already have that gimp suit and those chains? Did he buy them, or did he already have them? Because this motherfucker's into some kinky shit, Neo. And now the weirdness is really starting to, okay, now I get it. All right, Sonic, I get it. Plus, his old Zotac name used to be Porno Sonic. So this guy's always just been in the game the whole time. This guy's an absolute freak.
Absolutely.
Love it.
It was so cool that he won that map, and the warden then patted his head and stuff. It was so many golden moments thanks to Sonic, and throughout the entirety of 2020 we were just missing out on awesomeness from this guy, and I really hope he can keep it up. And I don't want him to feel pressured into doing some new stuff, but he's embracing it as well, right? He just he gets some extra fun, whether it be playing with Muscle Mike or doing stuff like that. Just an amazing character. We've had beef before, and I think for a long time he didn't like me, but I hope that's water under the bridge now. It felt that way. Oh, there's a fire alarm going on in my room. Not in my room, in my house. Holy shit.
Do you have to evacuate?
Is Neo's house burning down? Will he burn to a crisp? That is the cliffhanger for Back to Warcraft Podcast episode 8. The 9? What is this right here? 8, right? Then 9.
This is number 8.
Damn. 2 months already, Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have thought we would made it to... Is that your longest relationship ever now?
Neo, I was in a 6-year relationship with a woman.
Wow.
I'm dedicated when I'm in love.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, no, I'm... Fuck you, Neo. When was your longest relationship?
That's my...
Well, my green screen was in my room for... Fuck you, Neo. Go ahead, you answer the question. Go ahead.
Dying love for Warcraft 3 for 13 years straight without taking a break. Oh, I will take a break, but we'll talk about that as well. Oh, many cliffhangers here. Ricky, where can people get early access to this wonderful podcast, and what's the best way to support the Back to Warcraft project?
Absolutely, through Patreon for sure. If you go to patreon.com/back2warcraft, you get this podcast the week of, which is 1 week ahead of YouTube. YouTube gets it a week later. You go to patreon.com/back2warcraft. A lot of perks there, depending on which tier you are generous enough to support and donate. A lot of good coaching as you move on, weekly Q&A as you move on, and the coach, he gets monthly music and movie recommendations. I think Remo actually posted them today, which I believe they should go out soon. Priority in Q&A, which is important, but also priority with Theorycraft if you go to the coach. So Carson will do your replays first on Back to Warcraft stream through Theorycraft, which I think is really cool. A lot of people trying to get a lot of help from Carson, and they do that. And podcast exclusive, in-house custom games with us, which we should be doing our May monthly, probably after Dreamhack, I imagine towards the end of the month. We'll get some in-house going. I want to do archery tactics so bad. I want to play some archery tactics with everyone. I think they'll love it and they'll get addicted, and then we can just play that the whole time. That's my goal right there, is to get everyone in love with archery tactics. But yeah, patreon.com for sure. Check out our YouTube at Back to Warcraft, Twitch, obviously. Lots of ways to reach out. We're putting out a lot of shit. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And support us anyway. Support us by watching the streams. I mean, you don't have to cough up the dough. It makes us like you more, but you don't have to do that. You can just support us by watching the stream, and we love you, of course. But I'm really digging the podcast, man. And honestly, shout out to Kai. Kai watched the podcast the other day, tweeted at me personally saying you're so funny. Actually rated me 8 out of 10 on Damn. The would you do it scale, which is very generous and obviously made up, but I appreciate Kai anyway. Thank you so much, brother. Hope you enjoyed this episode as well. And yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to go through the other list because I actually can't log in anymore.
No problem at all, because our high tier supporters get a special shout out at the end of the broadcast and the podcast, and that is of course Mr. Knuppequakes, absolute god tier legend. He's the trifecta of gods in one person combined. We can't do this anymore. Like, we can't do this justice. It's way too crazy. Toxie, thank you very much. Taggy, Nem, Safe Orcas, and Scription, thank you for being so amazing and staying with us here on the Midas tier. And the Prophet, that is my tier basically, is represented by Dondolare, Jay Getz, and N. Padrud. We thank you guys a lot. You are from all over the world and you like our stuff all over the world, and that is absolutely amazing. I hope you tune into the Dreamhack. It's really important to raise the numbers also on the socials. Hit the like button, hit the share button. Doesn't matter if you have 3 followers or 0, just it helps, increases the reach. A reaction is a reaction, and the algorithm likes that, I guess. And we got some cliffhangers. I hope we can work with them next week, Ricky. And until then, we're gonna kill it at the Dreamhack semifinals tomorrow. It's gonna be a long day tomorrow. And yeah, let's finish Dreamhack and then we're back next week. See you then. Bye bye.